Hi, this is Dr. Scalise with Foster's Accounting and Financial Services. We're here obviously to maximize your money in some sense. Hopefully we can save you money on your tax burden. And Alfonso would be glad to help you with that. Find us at www.fostersaccounting.com. And I am Dr. Scalise. I am the Financial Services Representative here. And today we're discussing SEPs or SEP, Simplified Pension Plan. And really, I just want to give a cursory overview for suitability. Is this type of retirement plan or account fitting for my particular business structure and operation? They're great, I believe, for small businesses, owner-operators. Maybe you use a lot of independent contractors to help with your business that are not employees. Maybe you use some temporary or seasonal workers on occasion. So if you are in those categories, paying close attention here would be great. And of course, we do have some very specific details. So it's a qualified plan, which is nice. It's tax deferred, and it's funded with pre-tax money. So you put your money in off your gross income or adjusted gross income, depending on how you think about that. And then it grows tax deferred, and which is really nice because usually whenever we're earning a lot of money, we're in a higher tax bracket, which means we're going to be taxed more heavily, whereas maybe we put that money away and it's tax deferred, so no taxation on it. And then maybe we're retired, in our 60s or what have you, and we start taking some of that money, and now we're making very little income. So our tax bracket's lower, and we're able to save that money or not spend it or not give it over to the government, or not as big a chunk at least. And obviously, growth is tax deferred is nice. So we're able to fund it with more at the beginning, which means we're going to get more growth out of it in the end. Growth is going to depend on your particular investment options that you pick. And of course, that is something that is a little bit subjective. We're going to help you determine what type of risk tolerance you have and so forth, to decide whether or not certain financial products are for you in your account plan or pension, or not. And SEPs, they're very flexible. So, I mean, if you say you've got a lot going on this year, maybe you have a lot of equipment expense, new equipment expense to keep your business running well, you don't want to put a lot of money into your pension, that's okay. It's flexible. You don't have to put anything in necessarily. 1 year, and then the following year you could say, well, I got behind, I want to put in a large amount the following year, and you can. And great, so that's great. Many business models have income that comes, or cash flow issues, or sometimes maybe seasonal cash flow, and then other times things are a little slower. So depending on the way your cash flow comes in, SEPs can be really nice because of their flexibility. You do have to give the pension plan option to every employee you have. And I've got a list here of what's considered a qualified employee. So take a look at that. I'm not going to read it to you. Don't want to insult your intelligence. But this should be a major concern. And again, that's one of the reasons why I say SEPs are great for business owner-operators, maybe a few key employees, and maybe rely a lot on subcontractors. And then you don't have a lot of employees to think about because they will, there is some, and we'll talk about this in more detail as we zero in. But generally speaking, so in most cases, you will have to contribute equally to every employee the same amount that you contribute to yourself. Say you're the owner operator, or there's two partners, and you've got 2 or 3 employees, then whatever you contribute to yourselves, you're also going to have to contribute into their account. And that's generally the case. There are some exceptions to that, as with everything when dealing with finance and taxes, basically, but that's the general rule. Probably not going to read much more of this to you. The only thing I'm going to say is that the maximum you can contribute to it is really beautiful. $57,000 for 2020, and there's some specific language here you can take a look at. But I mean, the takeaway, the therefore, like, what should I remember, is that it's $57,000, and it could be less than that, it could be more, as we said before. But that's much more than, say, a personal retirement plan. You're not going to get that type of ability to save with a personal retirement plan. like a Roth or a traditional IRA. Those really only allow about $6,000 a year. Sometimes they'll allow catch up, additional contributions, but generally speaking, it's much less than this 57,000. So I would say that's one of the major perks. And there's some stuff here about taxation, which we talked about a little bit at the beginning. But at the end of the day, I just want you to take a look at this form. Tell me, basically say, is this suitable for what I have in mind for my business and my business structure? Specifically focusing in on, and shoot me an email back, specifically focusing in on who are my employees, and if I have to make equal contributions to each of my employees, is that something that I'm willing and wanting to do? And then obviously take a look here at, who's considered an employee. And going forward, these are things to keep in mind as you continue to develop and structure your business. So let's say you really like the simplified pension plan. Say, hey, this is really nice. I can contribute a lot. It allows a lot of flexibility. I like that it's employer funded and that's tax deductible on my business side. And it's tax deferred on my account. Like, this is a really wonderful thing. And you have a lot of flexibility in that you run your business. Maybe you could rely more on independent contractors rather than employees to get particular aspects of your jobs done. Then that would be something to think about going forward. Just take a look at this. I'm going to provide this as a PDF in the email that I send you, and get back to me with questions, concerns. If you have any financial products that you're interested in, say you're more interested in equity or a specific sector, you can get back to me with that as well. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to get the conversation moving forward during this pandemic so that we can basically get you set and ready to go for when we get through this pandemic and get your business up and running with the accounts in place that you need to think about retirement and saving wisely.